Hey guys, good morning everybody. It's Tony. I did want to do a really quick TA. My family's asleep, so I'm gonna talk a little bit lower right now. Um, but I wanted to show you guys why we can essentially see a drop down to 370, or we can rally to 450. And this is using like my actual major, um, my main strategy, um, which would be essentially call divergence. So first of all, let's go ahead and set some really quick placements of supports. I think right here we're set on like, I think this is fine. That's fine. And I think we'll set one more like right there. And we'll just one for good measure. We'll set one like right. Sure, that's fine. Just so we can get an idea of where our major support and resistance zones are. And again, I usually like using the weekly, the daily. The daily is probably what everybody should be using. I like using the weekly just because there's a lot less clutter, right? If I would have used the weekly for support and resistance, I would be able to. My support and resistance would probably be like up here, like down here somewhere, right? But the daily is probably what everybody should be looking, just because especially if you're a newer trader, right? But again, I wanted to show you guys why this could essentially be the bottom for SPY, and the 365 level down here could have actually been the ultimate bottom for the SPX, right? So again, if we go on the weekly, you can see that you had major bearish divergence, and that's why I sold everything, right? I no longer have a portfolio. I have a portfolio. I have nothing in my Robinhood portfolio right now, and we'll do it like we'll set it right there, right? That's a good spot to set it at. What if I did like down here? Nah, too low. Then that's fine. So again, you had major divergence, right? You had bearish divergence, right? Essentially bouncing off the 50 MA, and then you had bear divergence on the weekly all the way down here. So this is where me and my Patreon have been short the whole time. Ever since 4:30, I sold everything here, and I've just been shorting the hell out of everything, right? But again, as of right now, this doesn't mean that we have to go all the way down to that to target, right? Because weekly target on the SPY is pretty crazy. If you do weekly target, right, it's essentially going back to here. Conservative target would put us at, conservative target would put us at down here, like if between a 300 SPX or SPY and like 340 or SPY, right? So range of target would be all this right here, essentially this whole spot on the weekly. This whole range right here is essentially our range of target. So if we're just doing divergence, right, it says that we're going all the way back down here, which would essentially take us back from these highs to lows, somewhere like around it'll be anywhere between another 22% to a 30% drop, which is kind of ridiculous. And if you go from from our actual highs, right, from like 470-ish here, your range would now be 30% to like almost a 40% drop. So kind of insane that that target would actually be down here somewhere. And I'm sure we can find a lot of market structure. I'm sure you can find a lot of market structure in this area between 300 and like 340 or something. But again, I don't want to talk about that, because if you're trading just divergence on the weekly, this is your target. Wow, 300 to like 340. But if we're trading divergence on a smaller time frame, then as of right now, we are looking at, you are kind of divergent. You are divergent on the daily, right? You're essentially in your third touch, almost hitting third touch on trend. And if we do look at target, we would see, I think it was like somewhere around the 450 range to be conservative. There you go. Trend touch down there. There we go. And you would have targets of 449, 457, and 470. So if we do this again, this is how I actually trade on my Forex account. Do I have it open? Yeah, these are my positions in Forex right now. There you go. Those are my positions. Currently up 2,800 bucks. Look, and then you would go back, try to find the most market structure that you could possibly find. I would probably go with this mid ground right here, because you have plenty of market structure, right? Market structure here, but you also have a lot of market structure here. So right now, definitely target, if you are actually divergent on the daily, two targets right now, 457 and 470, which is back to previous all-time highs, which is kind of insane if you think about it. So again, the last time we were on this, the last time we were here, this weekly divergence, the Nasdaq had already broke this downtrend to the upside, and then this SPX was actually leading. So I am determined to think that because right now we are actually in a bullish trigger on the daily, right? If we close today in 8 hours and 36 minutes, if this closes, there is a significantly high chance that you actually rally back to these levels, right? From last time, right? Last rally, after we closed this bullish trigger, you know, this took us, you know, we went up $30 in 8 days, right? If we close here, right, we'll just put it on support. Do this in 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 283. Oh, 283, like right. We'll go right there, 280, whatever. So target, short-term target would be like 420 again, right? Or I would actually say more than likely like somewhere like around here, right? It would be somewhere around 420 if we actually close, right? I would have to go with being bullish because you're essentially on trend. This level of 391, you haven't broken like a full daily to the lower end, right? And you're on essentially what I would basically call almost perfect divergence. You don't have the 50 MA above the 200, but you're essentially hitting all of the other triggers, right? So I would still more than likely take this long to the upside, but again, this would only happen in the next 8.5 hours. I would not think now, but real target, right? So bull trigger target would be, right here would be another $28 from this low end, and this would be the bottom. But real target for divergence would be somewhere between 457 and 470, right? Again, this is only if we break this trend. I think we're going straight down here. I'll be completely honest. I think we're going straight down here. I think 365 is going to break. But if this doesn't break, this is actually I would call this the bottom, to be honest. I would say that we are at the bottom, that I think the weekly, I think everything has been, what is it called? There you go. See, even on the monthly, you're getting pretty close to closing a bullish month. And I think once a bullish month closes, I think that's game over. I think it's nothing but longs from there. But as of right now, in 8.5 hours, right, if you do not break 391 and sometime today, tomorrow, I do think that we are headed possibly back to like 411, 420, somewhere around this range. I think you'll probably have like a nice little range here of trading. I'm not bullish, I'm not bullish yet, but I can see that we can, I can see us trading higher to the upside. And there's a lot of things that can happen, right? This bull trigger can essentially mean nothing, and you just trade sideways, and then you just dump like crazy, right? And also, if we look at Ethereum, if you look at Ethereum, it looks disgusting, right? Look at this daily. The daily actually looks like it's going to go down. So crypto is actually pointing to further pain, a lot of pain. And if we look at the Nasdaq, it's essentially looking for more of it's actually breaking its major trend right here, right? You're creating a full 4 hour bear candle under major trend. So I'd say that everything is 100% bearish, except for the SPY. So we'll see what happens. This is literally on the edge of a cliff right now. This is what determines whether we're going to a 340, 330 SPY, or we rally to like 450, to be honest. I'll see you guys there. Bye-bye.